Hey, so this video is just going to be a comparison of the three primers listed above. I'll start with the one from Urban Decay because that's the one that everybody knows about and uses. This is an extra large bottle that I purchased, but if you want to get the normal size bottle, that is $18 from Sephora, and you get 0.34 ounces for this color, which is just the sheer plain nude color. And they also have two other versions of this if you want more of a tint to your eyeshadow primer. And I'll go ahead and do a swatch just so that we can compare all three, even though everybody already knows what this one looks like. So that's Urban Decay's Primer Potion on my hand. And then I'll go ahead and blend it in. And you see it kind of blends to almost nothing. So yeah, you can see it a little bit, but not really. This is what I've been using forever. I have no complaints with it, other than the packaging, which is the complaint everybody has with it. But anyways, I don't dislike the packaging too much, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten an extra large bottle. So that's really the only con of it, but a little bit goes a long way, so this really lasts a long, long time. I mean, this bottle will last me until next year. The next one that I want to talk about is from Lorac, and it's called Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. And I got this with 100 of my Sephora points. And this is obviously just a small sample size, but if you get it from Sephora, it costs $20. It costs a little bit more than the one from Urban Decay, but not much, just $2 more. But you get 0.47 ounces, so you get a little bit more product for your money. And I'll also do a swatch of this one as well, just so that we can do the comparisons. And this is like a squeezy tube bottle, so this one is really easy to get the product out, and none of it is going to go to waste like it does with the one from Urban Decay, because nobody can get all the product out unless you cut it open. So that's the one from Lorac. So the consistency on this one is a little bit thicker than the one from Urban Decay. And if I rub this one in, see, and I put a whole lot on here. That's actually way too much. Should have put a lot less. But if you rub it in, it eventually disappears, much like the one from Urban Decay. So a little bit thicker consistency, but in the end it ends up showing up about the same. And I've been using this on and off for, sorry about shaking the camera, I've been using this on and off for probably a month, or a little bit more than a month actually. And the first time I wore it, my eyeshadow creased, don't know why. But then I kept using it a lot after that, and I never had that problem again. So I don't know what went wrong on that particular day where it creased horribly the first time I used it, but I used it, I've used it 30 more times since then and never had a problem. So this has been working as well as the one from Urban Decay, so I don't have any complaints or problems with this one. And I like the packaging better, and like I said, for the regular size, it's only $2 more, and you get a little bit more product than the one from Urban Decay. The last one that I want to talk about is from Kat Von D, and it's called her High Voltage, I think it's High Voltage Eye Primer. And my camera's not focusing, but that's what it's called. Kat Von D High Voltage Eye Primer. And obviously this is a teeny tiny sample size. This is not what it would look like if you actually purchased it from the store. It comes in a 0.12 ounce little tube, and it also has two different shades. This one is called Skin, and it's just a beige color, but there's also another version of this called Smoky, which is just a gray color. So I imagine that the gray one would be good if you want to do a smoky eye or something like that, and that way you wouldn't have to use a primer and a base because the color is already built into it. But actually, let me do a swatch of this one as well so you can see. This one comes with a teeny tiny wand thing, but if you bought the actual full size version, it would also come with like a doe foot applicator thing that's just straight up and down like this. Like I said before, the one from Lorac is a squeezy tube. And then the one from Urban Decay, everybody knows it has like the doe foot that's slightly tilted. Actually, let me open it and take it out just so that you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's the one from Urban Decay with the tilted doe foot applicator. The one from Kat Von D, even when you get the full size, it's just straight up and down, just like this. I'm not sure how easy it would be to get all of the products out of the full size tube, because there is like a little stopper thing in here, so when you pull the wand through it, it takes some of the product off, so it may be a little bit harder to get all of the product out of here, but in either case, to me, I would imagine it would still be easier to get more product out of this one than it is to get all of your product out of the one from Urban Decay. But anyways, so let me do a swatch of this one. And as you can see, that one is really thick. Like, this makes me think of the concealer from MAC, the Studio Finish concealer from MAC. It's really thick. So if you rub it in, like, regardless of how much you rub, it's never going to completely vanish. I mean, unless I wear the skin tone, I'm going to always be able to see this. So it's giving you a primer and kind of like a light base in one. So, I mean, if I use this, I wouldn't need to use like milk if I was going to use a base that day for my eyeshadow, because this is so light, it's going to brighten up whatever shadows you put on top of it. Okay, this is where I put the swatch from Kat Von D. And right here is where I put another swatch of Urban Decay. And I'm just going to use a cranberry from MAC, which is a frost. And I just randomly picked this color because I thought it would show up pretty well. And I'm just going to swatch this on both of the primers. So, swatching this on the one from Kat Von D, you see how it like brightens up the shade and makes it look like a bright pinky color. So yeah, it makes the color really vibrant. And then I'm going to swatch it below where I put the one from Urban Decay. And hopefully the camera's picking up the color difference. Urban Decay is a little bit darker than the one from that I put on top of Kat Von D. So this brightens up the color of the shadow, and it's, you know, a little bit of a lighter shade of pink using the Kat Von D eyeshadow primer, and then using that same cranberry eyeshadow on top of the Urban Decay primer. It's a deeper shade of cranberry. So if you want to skip a step and you're someone who always maybe uses milk on top of your primer, maybe you want to go ahead and get the Kat Von D eyeshadow primer so that you don't have to use a primer and a base, and this is just, you know, one step. Me personally, I prefer to use the Urban Decay or the one from Lorac, just because it allows my whatever shadow I put on top of it to stay true to color. And if I actually want to alter the color, then I'll put a base on it, but I don't like basically a base already being built into my primer, because I don't always want to brighten up the color of the shadow that I'm putting on top of it. And I think that's pretty much it. Would I repurchase? It's going to take me so long to get through this that no, I'm not going to repurchase, because I won't run out until next year. And by next year, there'll be, you know, 10 million more eye primers out that I want to try. The next one that I want to try is the one from NARS. So no, I won't be repurchasing this. And no, I won't be repurchasing this one either. Just because, like I said, I want to try the one from NARS. I would never purchase this one. I'm actually not even going to finish this sample because it's so thick and I just hate the thickness of it. But if you want a thick primer, this is definitely the one you should go with. And so these are my two favorites that I like the best out of here. So if you really hate the packaging on this, go with this. But these both perform equally well. I never had a problem with the one from Kat Von D creasing on me. I just really don't like how thick it is, and I don't like the color. So again, it's all personal preference, and I hope that this was helpful to someone. And if you have a question about anything, leave it below. And as always, thank you for watching.